we are now joined by matchmaker Jolene Mizzone. Oh, what a pleasure to have you join us. Hi, Jolene. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Excellent, excellent. So we just talked to Curtis, who is in the main event stable. Talk to us a little on the matchmaking end and on the business end of what's happening with main events and what you can share with us, and some of the new things that are happening for you guys over there.
We're just preparing for the fight next week with Sergey Kovalev and Jean Pascal, and now Dmitry Mikalenko and Kareem Mayfield, which Mayfield was just replacement this week because Ray Robinson was supposed to fight Mikalenko. He pulled out last week of the fight because of an injury. Working on the possible Andre Ward and Barrera fight. We're working on a couple fights coming up in April and March that I can't discuss now until they're solidified.
Yes, you can. We won't tell anybody.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. There's a box.
You don't tell anybody.
Social media. It ain't happening. Not happening. It was a good try, though.
Jolene, okay, can you give us a percentage on how close Ward Barrera is getting done? Is it like 50% done? Can we hope to see that?
You got to talk to Andre Ward. Barrera wants to fight.
Yeah. I think it's so funny that he keeps calling Andre Ward J.C. Penney.
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
Jolene,
so Barrera wants to fight. What's holding it up with Ward? Is it the money? Is it the location? Is it the date? Is he just being a stubborn prick? I mean, what's the hold up on Ward?
It's more of contract issues, and it's more of that. I mean, there's a lot going into opposed to if each fighter wants to fight. It goes into I want to fight, but if I win the fight, you can't ask for my next born child. Put it in words like that. Like there's fair deals, and being in this business for so many years. There's fair deals, and then there's deals that come with a jar of Vaseline. You can't take those deals, I mean, you just can't because you got to look at the big picture. But as a fighter, his job, he wants to get in the ring. He wants to fight Andre Ward. He wants to step up. He feels he's ready.
And obviously you feel good enough in making that fight.
Huh?
And obviously you feel good enough in making that fight that you guys are proceeding and doing as your fighter wants you to do.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, yep.
Well, we were just talking with Curtis, and, man, he ran through a list of fighters.
Oh, my God.
He says that you guys have been trying to get fights from. So why are they turning
I'm
him
ready
down
to give my fucking firstborn to get Curtis a fight for fucking somebody to accept. I mean, it's absurd. It's absurd. I mean, he'll go overseas and fight Saunders. That's been put out there. Lemieux, we did everything but beg, borrow, and steal for that fight. He chose to go a different route. Kirkland started last year. That, no, he can't fight at 60. Okay, let's do a catchweight. Oh, no, that can't happen. All right, then, let's do Rosado in the ring. They did in BKB. Let's do it in the ring. No, it's a risk to fight Curtis. But the last time I checked, we're in fucking boxing. We're not in fucking ballet. Nobody wants to take risks anymore. Why? Because they're turning on the fucking TV and they're seeing who these other guys are fighting. That's not boxing. It's not. And it's getting obnoxious now. Because you have alpha dogs in this business and you have non-alpha dogs. And there used to be a lot more alpha dogs in this business. They don't exist very often anymore. They don't. And it's a shame.
Jolene, you've been in the business a long time.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry. Go ahead, Jolene.
I forgot what I was going to say. It's okay. Go ahead. You can go.
Of all
I don't know what I was
the
going to
changes
say.
of all the changes that you've seen happening around boxing in recent years, is there one thing that you think is the single most detrimental thing that's happened to the business of boxing in recent years?
Yeah, that the average Joe, or when I go to parties at my friend's house or what, don't know who the fuck boxers are outside of Mayweather and Pacquiao. You know, I mean, back in the day, and, you know, I can only speak for main event fighters, but maybe they weren't the Mayweather or Pacquiaos, but, you know, I used to go out and I'd be able to say, you know, names like Fernando Vargas, you know, David Tua. Maybe they weren't the top guys, but the average Joe knew these guys. Michael Moore, you know, the average Joe, Andrew Galata, and these aren't Mayweather Pacquiao names. I'm not naming Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield. You know, they knew Junior Jones. They knew Barrera. You know, they knew these guys because when these guys would fight, they would fight the right competition. You know, and, you know, the average Joe would turn on HBO or whether it was network and say, oh, I like this guy. You know, it's the same thing. I was at a friend's house and, you know, a lot of times it's not much boxing on, then I could say, oh, there's a fight on, let's put it on. Because I know I'm not going to get fans. You know, I was at a friend's house in Canelo and Kirkland were fighting. We know what that's going to be in the ring. At a friend's house, a bunch of people are there. They didn't know who Canelo was at the time. As soon as the fight was over, all of them were a fan of Canelo. That's how it works. And guess what? They were a fan of Kirkland, too. Both of them got fans. You know, was it the best fight out there? No, it wasn't the best fight out there. That's what people want to see. You know, they want to see that in the ring. They people want it. You know, boxing, people do like boxing, but they have to see the right matches. You know, I mean, if you're going to see people run around in the ring or, you know, not be promoted properly, or you're going to watch this guy who has so much goddamn talent fight, you know, one easy fight after another, it gets old. You know, it gets old. I mean, the perfect fighter of today that was brought up beautifully is Miguel Cotto. Did he fight a war every fight? No, he didn't. But they did it right. It was done right. You fight your tough fight. All right, you get an easier fight. You know, these are human beings. Because at some point he became the product. People don't care if he was fighting Donald Trump. They're going to tune in. You know, and people now are just, I mean, think about the heavyweight champion, the American heavyweight champion. Last year at this time, on Showtime, he fought Severn, and the viewership was 1.2 million. Last week, he fought Arthur Spilka a year later, and the viewership was fucking 500,000. Think about that. Without losing a fight. You're talking about a heavyweight champion, an American heavyweight champion, fighting for a whole year, gets back on to Showtime, and the rating drops by 700,000.
Wow. Why could that be, Jolene? Why is that happening? Why are the ratings just dipping so low now, and drastically too?
You know what? I think it goes a lot, and I think this is, you know, it's promoting. Who's promoting Deontay Wilder besides Deontay Wilder himself? Who's promoting?
Let's see. There's oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Well,
you know,
it's
not a single. There's no one promoting him. Listen, all due respect, no one gives a fuck about the initials PBC. Nor should they. You know, just like with us, when we're promoting our fighters, I don't give a fuck if people heard of main events or not. I give a fuck if people heard about Sergey Kovalev.
Right.
You know, that's what you want.
that's a good point you bring up, because I had some younger fighters and some people in the industry ask me what the biggest difference is, and I said, PBC is about building the PBC brand. It's not so much about building a fighter, building their brand, making them a product, making them a household name, a pay-per-view fighter, yada, yada. They're building their PBC brand. That is the brand. That's what people know. That's what they're talking about. And that's kind of sad, because you have some actually decent fighters over there that, could you imagine if they're fighting on HBO, or if they're being promoted by a single sole promoter? I mean, they'd be much bigger and much more well-known and fighting better guys than what they are now. So I agree with you there. I mean, that's just like, HBO doesn't have to brand HBO. They brand the fighter.
Yeah, they brand the fighter. HBO is already a brand. They've done that, and HBO boxing was branded by the actual fighters in the ring. Back in the day, you turn on HBO, you're going to see a good fight. It's branded. So they brand each other. It was the whole concept with this PBC of making it UFC. UFC is a brand.
Yeah.
That boxing's been around for, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's totally different. Like, none of these guys, it's, there's so much talent there that, and I said this over a year ago, they're putting them in with such soft competition that when this whole thing explodes, I put any one of my guys in with any of their guys tomorrow because they're ruining them. They're not making them better, and they have a shitload of talent there. They have a shitload of talent in the PBC, and seeing that and seeing a guy with talent fight. If you're going to fight an easy fight, I got no problem with that. If it's a mandatory or what, shit happens, But, like, I'm not saying a guy should fight, balls to the wall every fight, but when it's an easy, the only thing they're doing is hurting that fighter. With the PBC, I don't think they're last year with all, I think they had including Showtime, they had a total of 53 shows last year. 53, yeah, it was 53 shows, including the Showtime. That's not including the pay-per-view. So you have a platform of 53 shows. Can we say one fighter who can go on pay-per-view tomorrow?
No, that would be tough. Mm-mm.
As a fighter, your end goal is to be a pay-per-view star. That is where the money's at, boys. That's where it's at. That's what everybody's goal should be, is to become that pay-per-view star, because that's where the money is. I'm convinced they don't want anybody to be a star.
Hi, Jolene. Quick question. Since we're on the subject of Al Heyman, there was a fight over the weekend between Zara Glasgow and Charles Martin. What do you think of Glasgow's performance, and where does he go from here?
Well, he tore his ACL, and he has a 9-month recovery. There's nothing to say where to go. I mean, it was a freak thing that happened. It happened. I'm not going to make any excuses or, it happened. I mean, we just got the MRI report and he tore his ACL, and there's more that's into it that, a release will come out about it, but it was actually worse than that we've gotten, a couple of doctors that, gave their opinions on the MRI or what, but, it was a legit injury. It wasn't, people are saying he quit and this and that. There's all MRIs to prove it. So he didn't quit, but people can say what they want.
Okay. Do you give Martin any credit for why he got injured, or was it just like completely an accident, like what happened against anybody?
Do I give Martin credit for what?
For why he got injured. For why?
No, not at all. I give Martin credit for being a left-hander. With lefties, your foot gets stepped on. I'm not blaming Martin. That's not his fault. But do I give him credit? No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, he won fair and square. This is boxing. But did he, you know, do I give him credit for Glasgow tearing his ACL and because he put a beating on him? No, because actually the scorecards were even. So
yeah. What did you see the scorecards? Did Glasgow won round 2?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So I mean, look, everybody could say here. There's been stories that were out of people from Martin's side saying he quit. You know, I'm not going to speak, and you know, but he didn't quit. I mean, like I said, we have doctor reports to prove it. No one can make that up. It's not a back injury where somebody has a slip disc. Most people in the world have a slip disc. You know, he was legitimately injured.
All right, so this fight happened because it went to first bid. We know you haven't done any work with Al Heyman since the lawsuit. So, is there any chance that y'all might work together?
That's not true. That's not true.
What have you done?
We did Chilemba and Alvarez. We made a deal.
All right, wasn't that also a first bid?
No, not at all. It was a straight deal. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. That was not a.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's a good point, though.
Yeah.
All right, so
now we're willing to do. Look, if it benefits our fighter, we'll do a deal. I mean, I've sent names of our fighters to promoters that promote the PBC, saying, "Look, this one's available." I don't care. You know, we're willing to fight anybody. And so are our fighters. I'm not going to hold, and nor is Kathy going to hold any of our fighters back because somebody's with Al Heyman. You know, if it's the right deal, we'd work with them.
Okay, that's
we'd have no problem. You know, like Chilemba. You know, it's the perfect situation. It was for the number 1 spot. We're going to say, oh, no, you're not fighting Alvarez. He's with Al Heyman. No, not at all. That's what people think. That's what a lot of people think, but that's not true. You know, and like I said, I've sent plenty of our fighters saying they're available.
Joe, I wanted to ask you about someone else in your stable that I have not heard about in a long, long time, and that's Carl Dargan. What is going on with Carl?
He had an injury from his January fight of last year, and I was trying to get him back in July. I talked to Brother Nazim in July to try to give him a fight, and he was still injured. And, you know, I'm just waiting to hear from Brother Nazim, you know, when he's ready to go.
All right.
Okay.
Well, Jolene, it is an absolute pleasure. I'm so happy that you called in and spoke with us. It's not often that in our platform we get to talk like this, you know, with matchmakers. Is there something out there that you've been hearing that you would like people to to dispel or anything like that?
No, because I don't really give a shit. Because people are going to talk. You know, I mean, they're going to talk, they're going to assume, they're going to, you know, all that stuff and about me or main events or what, you know. But if somebody knows me and they're close to me, my phone, and they have my phone number, they're more than welcome to call instead of making assumptions.
I heard that, Jolene. They're not messing with you. They don't want that.
No,
all right, Jolene. They don't want those problems with you.
That's okay. I'm not really that bad. If somebody knows me, I'm not that bad. You're going to hear the truth. And I don't know. I'd rather sometimes that.
All right, Jolene, thank you so much for calling in and speaking with us when we give you a problem. It is always a pleasure to speak with you, and I hope that I get to see you again soon.
All right, you too. Thanks, guys.
Good night.
We have this is a hot switchboard tonight. We have another surprise caller who wants to call in with the show. It is our honorary co-host, Lou DiBella.
Well, I was hoping that Joe didn't. Is Joe still with you? Because I was hoping she wouldn't hang up.
Oh, we can get her on.
No,
you know what? She's in the queue. Let me wait.
I actually like Jolene, except for the fact that her boss and her tend to spew like really mean and nasty bullshit constantly about other people, and it seems to double chin. I am getting a lot of phone calls from main events asking about my fighters. I got 50 fighters that have nothing to do with Heyman, by the way, and I still don't get phone calls about them. So this whole idea that they're looking for the best fight, they're looking for the best fights with who they want to work with. But you know what? You're going to sit there and tell me about promoting? Who promoted Deontay Wilder in New York? Well, if anyone was around that promotion, I promoted the shit out of Deontay Wilder in New York, and 12,800 people were there. They got a poster child at HBO after Golovkin, the guy that's the poster child for HBO Sports, and he doesn't sell a fucking ticket. And, she wants to sit there and talk about why there was not a lot of, the viewership was down. Maybe because Green Bay went, and in that game in Arizona, Green Bay, there was a friggin' Hail Mary pass, with seconds left, and the game went into overtime and did one of the most massive ratings in football. Maybe, that had something to do with it, maybe. Instead of, pointing fingers and being nasty and destructive and mean. I like Jolene, actually. I think she's a good boxing person, but that's just some big-time bullshit.
What was the part that pissed you off so much? Was it about the ratings?
I mean, you're gonna get hurt really, really badly if you're on against an NFL playoff game where there's the game is a betting game close to no one knows, half the world bet on the game. It's NFL playoffs. Friggin' Rodgers throws a Hail Mary with seconds left and the game goes into overtime. You don't think that affects the rating? And maybe the fact that her boring-ass fighter, who, by the way, I believe was legitimately hurt, but her boring-ass fighter and Martin, the fight lasted a couple of rounds and there was very little action. By the way, her guy was already starting to lose the fight, even though he did get injured. I believe he really got hurt. I don't think anyone was faking anything. That kid was in significant pain, that guy. So, I believe he was injured, but he was injured and he got hit by some shots and he was starting to didn't look exactly like he was engaging the bigger man, and that fight wasn't going to build a rating. And then you got a playoff game going into overtime and she was going to sit there and say that a guy wasn't promoted. Her guys never sold an effing ticket. Ever. Kovalev, never. Forget about 12,800. Forget about 12,800 in a city that he's never fought in. So, I like Jolene, but she just really pissed me off. And it's the kind of thing that her and Kathy constantly do. They're always with the negativity, the finger pointing, the bullshit, the mocking of other people and acting like they're the be-all, end-all in the promotional business. They know everything and everybody else doesn't. Cut the bullshit. Just, be fucking nice. It's not that hard. I like Jolene. She really does care about the sport, but, I'm sick of the bullshit bombs being thrown by people when they know damn well that they're not telling the truth. Had nothing to do with it. It had everything. That rating had everything to do with the fact that the football game went into overtime and literally was on right against not only the first fight but the main event. And there was nothing scintillating. There was no fault of Martin's. And yes, I'll acknowledge Glasscover was hurt, but there was nothing scintillating about the first fight that was going to build a rating.
Well, Lou, she said she wants to talk back to you. We got her back in the queue, so I'm going to put her back in the queue, and you guys could hash it out. Okay, Jolene.
There's nothing to hash out. If you were in the room, you know what was there. If you were around the fight week, you know how hard people worked. And if you were around the whole promotion, you know we legitimately did a big gate and had a great crowd. I mean, there's nothing to argue about. But to sit there and say no one's promoting the guy, fuck you.
I didn't say that, though.
I didn't say that to you. I wasn't saying fuck you to you. I was saying fuck you in general.
No.
And I don't even. And by the way, I like Jolene. I don't even want to. I don't even want to say fuck you to her.
Hello? Am I on here or no?
To that comment.
Yes, you are, Jolene. Go ahead.
You guys are together.
All right. I never said that there wasn't 12,000 people there. I never said that you did not promote Deontay Wilder.
Nobody's promoting Wilder. Really?
Lou, my thing is that I'm upset about a heavyweight I like Deontay Wilder. I think he's wonderful for the sport. I don't care if he's with Donald Trump. I think he's wonderful for the sport. I'm upset about people are not knowing who these fucking fighters are.
Well, but with all due respect, I mean, if you put I'm not arguing with you on that point. And to be honest with you, that's a prevalent problem. But I think Wilder fighting in Brooklyn in front of 12,800 people, getting on all the media that he got on, that crossed over.
It was tremendous. Tremendous. And it hasn't happened in a long time. I didn't rip you about that. I didn't rip anyone.
Jolene, I objected to one thing, Jolene. You said nobody's promoting him. That's not the problem. The problem is, with all due respect, people know about more people. I was sitting there reading Gabriel Montoya, these other people talking about Margarito fighting Canelo, like that one-eyed blind motherfucker who's a cheater, which you didn't pay any attention to. He would get killed in the ring, potentially by anybody. You know that. But they're mentioning him because more people know Margarito than guys who were quality pound-for-pound boxers today. Guys who walk down
people knew the pound-for-pound boxers.
But there's also issues, Jolene. All the boxing writing is on the fucking internet. There are no newspapers covering boxing anymore. Guys' pictures
and
are
I understand that.
Okay,
it's a lot harder. It's a lot harder. I get it.
I'm not sitting there when Kovalev is selling a lot of tickets and saying you people don't promote. I'm not out there when you go to Atlantic City and the city's dying and no one goes out to a Kovalev fight like's happened in the past. And that, frankly, you could promote your ass off and the same thing would have happened. I'm not sitting there and saying no one's promoting him. I'm sick of these.
But have you been working with Deontay Wilder since the beginning? I didn't realize that. I didn't know that.
No, I haven't.
So it wasn't him doing that you.
I've worked with him. I've worked with him since he's had the title, and I think that frankly he's a lot. Honestly, and it's not only because of me.
To tell you the truth, I did not know that you worked with Deontay Wilder since he had the title. My right hand to God. Okay.
No, I did both fights. I did both fights in Alabama. I did both fights in Alabama, and the fight here, and frankly, I also think Deontay's working his ass off to get out there and create
Absolutely. He's a great speaker. He's a great talker. He's great for boxing.
All right.
I'll be the first to say that.
Julie, I like you, Julie. You know, Julie, I consider you a friend, but there's too much negativity. Everyone's sniping at one another. It's like it's bullshit.
Oh, I know. I dealt with it last week. I dealt with it a lot. I understand that. I get it. We get the same thing back too, Lou, and I'm not directing it at you. I didn't go on this show and say Lou DiBella. I considered you a friend, and I always did. Okay? And I'm not just saying that.
I said that. I preceded my comments, saying the same thing. But I got to tell you something. Like, I know how hard I worked in the fucking last month.
And I didn't discredit you for the ticket and for the promotion for the show.
I had 5 weeks to work on a show, 10 days of which was the holidays, and we sold 12,800 tickets. And with all respect, no one really was paying a lot of attention to Martin and Glasshoff. And
I know that. I'm not saying that they did, not at all.
All right, so I'm just complaining
I know that didn't help. I know it was all Deontay Wilder and Silk. I was there. There was Polish people there. I know that.
Yeah,
I know that, and I never discredited anybody. It was a great crowd. Never did I say, oh, they papered the hat. I didn't say any of that.
Yeah, I think it's more about the bigger picture in that consistently.
We didn't pay.
I didn't say that. That's what I'm saying.
No, I know.
No.
You said, and I quote, nobody's promoting Deontay Wilder. I take exception to that, certainly over the last 12 months.
Well, I'm sorry you're offended. To tell you the truth, I did not know you were promoter of Deontay Wilder from after whatchamacallit. Who did he?
I got to say something. You know the business well enough to know that that Green Bay Arizona game and what happened in the overtime and everything else is going to have a huge friggin' influence on a sports rating on premium cable. Come on.
It's going to have an effect on ratings. Of course.
Yeah, of course. And
but from 1.2 to 500 is a lot. I'm not blaming you.
I'm not saying it's not, but you know what? We also have another general problem, which is we're always basically singing to ourselves. And frankly, it's one of the reasons why, rather than hating on the PBC thing, and you want to criticize certain fights, but the idea of people disliking the whole concept and the fact that boxing's on free TV, the more people that see boxing, the more exposure we get, the better. Because part of what you said is true. Motherfuckers can walk through Times Square and no one knows who the fuck they are. That's
exactly.
Well, yeah.
I'm not against it at all. And Michelle Rosado can co-sign it because last night I was tweeting about a guy that I love that was on PBC. I don't care who he's with.
Yeah.
Okay? And I do it. If I like a fight or I like a fight, I'm going to say it. I don't completely hate.
I actually follow you, and I know that's the truth. But I do the same thing. You know why? Because we're actually fans. We're actually fans.
And I am. I'm a fan, and that's where the emotions come in.
All right. Well, have a good night, Jolene. Good talking to you.
You too. Thank you.
Okay. Good. Bye.
That was good.
Bye, Lou.
Bye.
Lou.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Jolene. Oh, okay. Yes, the Ruckus. We do inside Ruckus on this show. Wow, listeners. Honestly, we okay. Well, let me see. We had so much there that we could we were given.
We are completely lost for words. Look, Bianca.
I mean, holy crap.
Look,
we could give you some.
I want your heart. I want to eat his children.
Wow.
I broke my back. Everything.
Oh my God.
Listen, now, DeAndre, I got to get this out.
I broke my back.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Michelle.
I really understood where Jolene was coming from, and people started tagging Lou DiBella into some of these tweets, and I think he took it personal as if she was personally attacking him. And she never once even said Lou DiBella's name, but what she did say was that, there was such a drop in ratings. So, who's really his promoter? Because, we see a lot of these PBC fighters, and they're fighting in California, they're fighting in Washington, they're fighting in Florida, they go here, and everywhere they go, they're fighting for a different promoter who's running the show. So,
I agree.
For her, it was like, well, how many times, who's really promoting Wilder? And I didn't know that, per Lou, that, he had done a couple Wilder shows. But there is a bit of that inconsistency within the PBC where these guys fight for a lot of different promoters. There's not a bunch of consistency. So I think that's what she meant. It wasn't, she was not attacking Lou whatsoever. It was some of our listeners that were tagging him and assuming that she was talking about him.
Right. Exactly. Yes. And the gift and the curse of social media. Lou DiBella, obviously very passionate about his vent, but at no time did Jolene Mizzone say Lou ain't shit, Lou do shit, nothing of that sort. She never even brought his name into the mix. She was taking a Wasco view because she didn't know. Does Jolene Mizzone strike you as the type that's scared to speak her mind, will take a subtle jab, or, she's going to say what she needs to say? So I just can appreciate the fact that they have this dialogue on this platform. We would love more of these opportunities for fighters, promoters, trainers, whomever, to come together at the same time to dispel some of these notions. So thank you, Jolene Mizzone, and thank you, Lou DiBella, for allowing us to present that and airing it out. Because these are the kind of, so much wrong goes on in boxing. Sometimes these are the conversations that need to have that will foster. You never know what will come of that conversation. So I appreciate the both of them, for speaking with each other. That was pretty damn dope.